Well, let's see how the dynamic objects or dynamic agents are displayed in the picture, and how it is displayed or provided by the search engine. Let's see it. Let me type people in the city. So people are dynamic. So the dynamic actions of people in the city are provided here. Good. Well, what about cars in the sea? So there are more than enough pictures provided that matches what we type it, what we mean. What about static? Objects? Well, cars are static, but human interacts with it. So the purpose of interacting with car is moving it. So usually the cars are can be seen in static and dynamic as humans. So what about homes in the city? Static object. As it's expected, there are more than enough pictures provided by the search engine. What about markets in this in the city or in the street? So as we see, again, the different shapes of the market, different situations, but so different objectives are involved in through the market. All types of scenarios are provided by the engine. Good. What about schools in the city? So containers, when we type these kind of institutions, usually, for example, school, college, university, library, it's difficult to find. But when we type church, hospital, sometimes they're easy to find. But the containers like schools, colleges, universities, when we search them, generally we are provided with general containers. Well, let's challenge the Google search engine and type some abstract concept. For example, living. I live in the city. So how we can display living in the city? It's difficult to display. We just can imagine. For example, when we talk stories or events happened with us, if we provide picture of the city, that's enough. We can visualize. Our cognitive capacity is enough to visualize different scenarios, different abstract concepts. For example, when I say I live in the city and I showed the picture of my city, so the listener can visualize what I mean. So the picture matches what I mean, but it's difficult. It's very difficult to visualize living in the city. So it's how we can show what the living is. So here, since it's difficult to visualize, so Google cannot visualize it. Okay, it's useless, but let me add some other words into the search engine. For example, I live in the city with my parents. Again, 0 outcome. Okay, let's change the landscape. For example, a street. Here we go. More than enough pictures. What about I work in the street? Work is also abstract concept. Work can be visualized with uniforms and etc. As we see here, and the Google algorithm can find it, can match. For example, if the photos are labeled with work, worked, working, these kind of labels, so computer algorithm or search engine algorithm may find it according to these labeled words. Okay, let's type another container such as bank. Here we go. Different pictures visualize it in different way. Some are drawn animated pictures, some are containers, some are real banks. What about I work in the bank? Well, there are some animated pictures, but actually these type of contents are not easy to find.